A potential life-threatening heat wave is expected to hit parts of the Northwest this weekend. This comes as dangerous record-breaking heat waves continue gripping the region. The National Weather Service says areas like Idaho, Oregon, and Washington, which are still typically cool this time of year, may break their all-time records, with temperatures possibly reaching anywhere from 104 to 114 degrees. So what is fueling this unprecedented heat? Dr. Emily Fischer is an atmospheric chemist and associate professor at Colorado State University, and joins us now. So this could rank among the most extreme events this region has ever seen. How do these heat domes form? And I guess, is this the new normal?
Well, a heat dome is just a popular name for a large high pressure system, something that's persistent, right? And these areas under domes, in those areas, the pressure is slightly higher than regions around that. And those are regions of subsidence and typically dry conditions, clear skies, things like that. So they typically form later in the summer. This type of system is just kind of extreme.
Okay, so do droughts occur as a result of heat waves, or what role do droughts play is sort of my part A. And my part B is all of this has kind of climate change hanging over it, I would think.
It does. And so right now, about between 85 and 90% of the U.S. West is under drought conditions. And so when we have drought conditions already, it's going to amplify the heating. So there's these already parched lands in the West are warming up easier under these atmospheric conditions. And so the drought will amplify this, and it will also amplify the impacts of this weather system, right? So it makes this weather more dangerous for fires.
So can we expect wildfire season to be much worse this year because of the extreme heat?
So because most of the West is still under drought conditions, we were already coming in expecting a pretty significant fire season. And so the fire season in the West, as many people know, right now, the greatest risks are largely in the Great Basin. And then as we move throughout the summer, the risks become greater further north. So you move to the Pacific Northwest, Northern California, and the Northern Rockies. And all those areas that I just mentioned, when we look into July, August, and early September, all of those are elevated fire danger compared to normal.
So sometimes I think, extreme heat does not get the attention that other extreme forms of weather do. And I don't know if it's because, when you have a hurricane or, a tornado, there's all this physical devastation that's left behind. And so somehow that is more impactful than the human loss at times, even though we're aware of the human loss, just isn't photographed well, for lack of a better phrase. But the thing about heat is that, people do die. And often the worst effects of heat aren't always in the hottest places. Why is that?
So you're absolutely right. Since the late 70s, I think more than 11,000 people have died of extreme heat, right? And if you look at the Weather Service warnings for Spokane and that area, of the Pacific Northwest, they are warning folks to take care of their children, the elderly, their pets, right? And so these areas that don't typically experience conditions like this, they're just not ready, right? There are not air conditioning. There's not air conditioning in every building, things like that. And so these swings in temperature, folks that live in areas that are not used to these types of temperatures, these swings in temperatures can be really dangerous for people.
Yeah, I know that sometimes, here in the city, it can get up to sort of the 90s, which is nowhere near to the over 100 degrees that we're hearing is expected in other places. But, the 90s in a row home, when you got your doors closed and you're running a fan, those are the kind of conditions that lead to deaths. So I think it's a really good message that you're getting out there. Dr. Emily Fischer, thank you.
Thank you.